Hi folks, I'm Sean McCormick and welcome to the Lightroom blog channel. It's Friday, so it's Photo Friday. In today's video we're going to talk about the X1TF trigger and the TT350F, a small light with big modifiers. So I've put together a short video showing the TT350F with an 80cm, a 120cm Octa and a large Parabolic Umbrella. Now, because my X-T10 is away for repair and I'm shooting with the X-T2, I've had to shoot this on my phone, just on a gimbal. So hopefully the quality is okay for you. You should still get the idea. I've recorded the audio separately, so hopefully the audio will be good enough. So let's kick it off with the 80cm. So set the X1TF to channel B, set it to full power. Here's how you change the power on the X1TF. Here's the X1TF. So as you move the dial, it selects different groups. You press the group button again, and then when it's flashing, that lets you change the power. Okay. If you want to change the channel that we're on, you press the channel button. So just make sure that the actual channel is flashing, and that lets you change the channel with the dial. I'm on channel 2. So click OK to set. And here's how you change the setting to create a B group on the TT350F. Here we have the TT350F. So we hold down the sync button, and we see this little flash of a little icon here, like an antenna. So we then move it. So the first one is master, and the second one is slave, and it's on channel A. So we click set, then we click slave, and that jumps to channel B. It's on TTL, so we click mode, and the mode will go to manual. We'll focus now. So I'm going to press group again because I'm on B, and I now change it, and we can see that it's changing on both of them. So that's how to control the TT350F from the X1TF. Okay, so now we're ready to go. So I have the camera set to f4. I'm set to sync speed at the moment, which is 1/250th of a second, and I'm at ISO 400 just to give a little bit of flash power. Okay, so this is our first shot then. As you can see, if you check the shadows underneath the neck, you can see that it's really, really nice, and we've got a good catch light in the eyes. But I think that the light is just a little bit too low. I want a little bit more of a deeper shadow underneath the nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to raise up the light a little bit. Now normally when I'm out and about with a tiny, tiny flash, I'm not using a massive stand like a C stand, but C stands are fabulous stands. So I'm going to raise the light. And one other thing I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to bring the light in closer to make it appear bigger and softer as well. So I'd like to thank Neve for helping me today. So you probably can't see Neve now. So okay, so it's a bit bright, and because I brought it in closer, it's brighter. So I'm bringing it up to f5.6. Okay, and now I'm going to bring it up to f7.1. Okay, that's absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to do one more thing as well, which I would normally do in this situation. So I'm going to bring in a reflector. I have one over here. And the reflector will bounce light in underneath just to give a nice fill-in look, and it's kind of very, very standard for beauty look. So cool. So you can see the difference there now. So that is with an 80cm, and the grand thing about the 80cm is that it's something you could definitely carry with you in a stand. And regularly I would use this with a stand with a bungee around it, and I would carry them on a strap. So it's very, very handy for that. Just so you always have a good soft source of light. I'm quite pleased with that shot there. Move on to a larger light source. In this case, it's a 120 Octa. It's the same type as the other one, which is a Godox. There's one thing I didn't mention, which both of these can be used with, and that is the grid. And so this is the grid. What a grid does is it makes the light much more directional, so that you can control where the spill is a lot more. So it's definitely more useful than an umbrella in that kind of a situation. Even though to a certain extent the design is umbrella based. We're going to see how big this is in a second now. and how awkward it is to get on with a flash on the stand. So now I'm going to get you out off the wall a little bit, so you're just kind of on the edge of this, and out a little bit this way as well. Okay, a tiny bit more. I'm actually going to straighten that up if I can. And I need to make it a bit squarer so it's kind of parallel to you, or 90 degrees to you, perpendicular to you. Even move out a small bit more that way. Yeah, lovely. So I'm starting at F4 anyway for this as well. So, okay, so bring your chin this way a little bit. And I can see by looking at that I need to raise it up a little bit. It's too low at the moment. So again, this is a 120, which is roughly about 4 foot. So you can see quite a large light source. We're at F4. And I could actually bring it up a little bit higher even. I'm going to get you to hold the camera for a second. So what I'm trying to do is just get the center of the light source over the eye so that it's aiming downwards. So that's kind of a Rembrandt look. Now I'm going to do a short light look as well, just to show you can shape the face with this. So I'm going to get you to turn slightly this way and just bring your hair down off a little bit so I can, and then even just kind of looking across this way a small bit. Chin back towards me slightly, okay, and eyes to here. Lovely, gorgeous. So this is a look at a short light look using an Octa. Again, we're using the TT350F, which is a tiny, tiny flash, but we have it in this huge Octa box, but it's still giving this beautiful, beautiful soft light. For the sake of just doing a high-speed sync test as well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this to 1/500 of a second, and I'm at F4, so I'm going to go down to 2.8. So I've basically brought up my shutter speed by stop and my aperture down. We're in high-speed sync now. I better make sure the flash is turned on to high-speed sync though. Otherwise nothing will happen. And yes folks, that's a mistake I do make. So hopefully this should work straight off the bat. Okay. So as we can see here, that looks really, really good. It looks very, very similar to the previous one. So even though we've gone into high-speed sync, we haven't lost power compared to how you'd normally use it with high-speed sync. So if I go to 1000 of a second and down to F2, which is another stop change, we can see that it's the same. Now I'm going to go to F1.4 and 1/2000. So by looking at all of those images, we can see that all of those images are pretty much exactly the same exposure, or very, very, very close. So see, the high-speed sync with the TT350F is actually very, very sweet when using the X1TF trigger with it. So now we're going to go on to our last modifier, which is even bigger. So this next thing is actually pretty cheap. It's a Parabolic Umbrella. So as we're going to see, it's a big modifier. So quite large, much larger than the Octa. So let's get it up there. And what I'm actually going to do with this one is going to go behind me. So I'm going to shoot it from behind me, and I'm going to kind of create a ring light kind of a look with it, rather than using it in any kind of shape. So the light is quite flat from it, but it's very, very specular and shiny, so we should get that ring light kind of look. So as you can see, that's the umbrella set up there, and that's our distance there. So I'm going to be standing in front of it and kind of blocking some of the light basically. So, but in this case here, I'm actually going to bring it back to sync speed, so 250 of a second. And I'm going to stick it on 2.8 to try, because it's such a large modifier, I might need the extra. But it's so bright that I don't, because it's so specular. So I'm going to bring it up to f5.6, which is 2 stops of a difference. Okay, that's too little. So, and so we kind of need to be exactly aligned up. So I'm just going to, no, you stay there, and I'm going to slide this along here. So what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that there's a line between the middle of the light, me, and my subject, Neve in this case. So I'm going to get you to curl your shoulders in a little bit. So maybe get a little bit of a tilt like that, and chin down, and out towards me a little bit, and eyes to me then, come. Gorgeous. So I'm just going to open it up a little bit here. So I'm at 4.5 now. You see that's much, much brighter. So you can also see that you've got this very distinct shadow around it as well. That kind of gives a little bit of emulation of what a ring light will look. Now I won't often use this like this, I'll often use it across to the side. So let's do a one or two from the side as well. So now I have it a little bit over to the side. So check that's okay, it's probably slightly bright. So what I can do is I can bring my power down on the trigger from 1 to 1. So I'm going to try just a third of a stop down, which is only a small bit. Okay, so I'm happy with that as well. So we've got a lovely, big, beautiful light source, and because it's silver, it's quite specular, so very, very contrasty. But again, because it's big, you're going to have lovely, lovely soft shadows, and being so close, it's going to be even softer again. So there you have 3 larger modifiers being used with the TT350F. That's the edit done anyway. Now I did have to do a lot of nudging of audio around, so if there is places where the audio goes out of sync, there's something funny going on between the recorded audio and the audio on the phone. They must be at different sample rates because they do go out, even though it's lined up one end, it wasn't the other, so I was constantly cutting to make audio fit. So if it's out, I'm really, really apologetic about that. Folks, I'd like to give a really big shout out to Neve. Thanks a million, Neve, for helping. Neve's enthusiastic and willing to help, so you might see more of Neve. But folks, that was 3 modifiers for a tiny flash to make it do big things. It's great that something so small can do such massive stuff, and especially with the high-speed sync giving even power throughout. Folks, I've got loads more of this stuff coming up, so subscribe if you want to get that stuff. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified when it goes online. If you like this video or found some of the information that useful, do like the video, hit the thumbs up, and share it with your friends on social media. So I'm going to do a bonus video with the V850 used with the X1TF as well. So watch out for that. That might be tomorrow before I get it done. There's some personal things going on, so I have less time than I normally have. But I do appreciate the fact that you've taken time to watch this video. Please, please, please try and watch lots more of the videos, especially in the playlist with the TT350F if you like that flash. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.